They rather take from us, they don't wanna give. Cruise around, let my mind wander as I ride. Wonder as I ride, wonder as I ride. The circle stay exclusive, only chill vibes. It's only chill vibes, it's only chill. Like to welcome you to the show, man. Like to welcome you to the Major Music Lounge. Just been first and foremost a big fan of the work that you've done on YouTube. So I'd like to
Appreciate it.
welcome Marcus Elbow from Elbowmedia Studios. So man, what's been good with you, man?
Say, man, just working, just trying to build this community up, Uh, started about a year and a half ago with the iOS movement. Figure like I did okay with that. And now I'm just trying to really just bring more to the table as far as production go. I mean, I feel like it's so much to teach. I don't know how long it's gonna take me to fully flesh out the stuff that I want to show people. But the iOS was the first movement. Now I'm fit to start talking about some mobile equipment for the next movement. And then we're gonna get into DAWs and we're gonna get into engineering. I mean, we got a lot of stuff that we want to show, but I kind of wanted to take my time with my audience and with my subscribers and the students, and just really introduce them to the quickest way to get into production, which is iOS, the cheapest way. And I think for the most part, people have appreciated, that process because again, it's the new wave. So, um, yeah, that's really what I've been up to, man.
Man, and coming really as I kind of started watching more and more of your videos, I kind of delved back into like some of your first videos. You went back like, man, like 12 years ago.
Yeah,
And I salute you really for that longevity, because I've been on there myself probably about that long, but it really wasn't over until like the last year that I've kind of started putting out videos consistently. So what I've always like is, you started out like with Reason, then I think you got into more like the iOS production, and then you got into like the MPC hardware, and you
yeah.
kind of just combining all of those elements, and you talk about some more of the new material that you got coming as well. So tell us really how important it is to just, kind of evolve your workflow over time. And how does it help you continue to create?
Well, the crazy thing is, uh, I would love to say that I've been doing this for 12 years straight, but it hasn't been the case. Essentially, what happened was in '08, I started a YouTube channel, and Reason was the my DAW of choice for making music, not really recording, because at the time Reason didn't record vocals; you can only do beats. And then I was working with Pro Tools, and I love Pro Tools because it was a universal standard. And then once Record came out, which is Reason and Record, where you can do vocals, I only worked on Pro Tools when I did projects for people, but Reason and Record is something that I just felt like I needed to master because I love the studio environment, the studio UI that is set up. So it was great. Excuse me. But then I started a record label in '09 and I backed away from YouTube. Every once in a while I would post a video. But the funny thing about it, it was doing pretty good in '08. I had accumulated 1,000 subscribers in a matter of a month and some change. But they was pretty demanding, at the time because it was so new. It didn't have so many people doing it like they got it now. So I was getting bombarded with, emails and emails. Hey man, do another video. Show me how to do this. And I just didn't have time because my dream was to have a record label and put some artists out that had been under my umbrella for years. And I did that. And then once I did that, I got into some other work stuff and some career stuff, and I just didn't come back. But I did, like I say, periodically I came back. And finally, it's been 3 years, but really it's been a year and a half that I can really say I'm fully back. I think initially when I tried to come back, I wanted to do a podcast because podcasts they were getting popular, and I wanted to do that. That didn't work out. I dabbled and dabbed in some tech stuff, didn't really that didn't really work out. And so I said, you know what? Stop playing. You need to go back to doing what you love to do, which is music, and teaching people how to work music equipment, software, so forth and so on. So yeah, man, I found iOS. iOS sparked me because I had been working with Reason for so many years. It didn't excite me like it did before. It was kind of old UI. It hadn't really changed a lot. So I was watching somebody on YouTube and they was using the iPad to make beats. I had an iPad laying around my house that my wife had bought me for Christmas. So I was like, yo, let me check this out. And man, it was simply amazing. It amazed me that I could make a beat with something that I used to watch Netflix with. You know what I mean? Or do my, my bills or something. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just cool to me. And I thought to myself, this is the best way for me to come back to YouTube by, because again, I had 1,000 subscribers. So that it didn't make it any easier for me to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Let's not get it twisted just because I had those 1,000 hours. But I knew that I could do the teaching thing because I saw it blow up right in front of my face in '08. So I said, okay, well, let's just try to do the iPad and let's try to figure out a way we could teach it because it's not the same. As you already know, teaching software, all you doing is screen recording. You don't have to show yourself. You don't have to do anything. I knew that I would have to have the downward angle and this and that. And I went scouring the internet for different people and what they were doing. And I wanted mine to look a little bit different. And I'm a different type of teacher. You know what I mean? I like to really kind of walk people very slowly through it with a little bit of flair, a little bit of comedic to it, but really being serious and focused about it, but adding some real comfortability to it. You know what I mean? And man, before you know it, everybody kind of loved it and it took off pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah. And it's kind of similar paths with myself and you in this regard. From I started out kind of like with Reason 3, and then Reason 4. And then kind of from there, I got into like Machine and Logic, but it
Yeah.
wasn't probably until maybe like 2015, 2016 with Beatmaker 2. And then I would say I dabbled a little bit like in iMachine and even GarageBand. But I think it was really when Beatmaker 3 came out is when I kind of, I found something like you said, it was a spark to production from just the whole entire, just the workflow in general from Beatmaker 3. I like the sampler. I like the just the whole interface as far as file organization, like the audio unit compatibility. And to me, it was kind of one of the closest things really to a desktop DAW that I've used. Um, as far as like, what would you say really sparked you to go in that direction as far as focusing more on iOS beat making?
Yeah, like I mean, like I said, it was unique to me. It was the technology was amazing. I thought, of course, me being a producer for so many years, I just felt like when I seen it, I automatically saw the future. You know what I mean? It was like, as soon as I seen it, I was like, this is the future. Like being able to grab something that's that small and go somewhere and do a beat in the park or have you some headphones on and zone out, have the plugins and everything. Like I went through the whole nine though. I didn't just start this and say, "Oh, okay, this is hot." You know what I mean? Like I had to run it through its paces because I am a serious person when it comes to music. So I'm not gonna try to sell something to somebody just because it's the latest gadget or something like that.
Yeah,
It has to be something that I feel that I would use. If you notice, I know you watch my channel, you say you're a fan of the channel, you will always understand and see that I don't really just talk about a whole bunch of different stuff. And trust me, companies reach out to me all the time. Hey, try this out, try this out, try that out. But if I'm not using it and it's not something that I can confidently tell you that I've used this microphone, it's hot. You need to look at it. I'm not going to talk about it. And I was talking to one of my colleagues, and They were like, man, you could do all these different things. And I said, listen, I'm not going to do that. The people that come to my channel they're going to buy into the knowledge that I'm selling and what I'm talking about, because they can see behind me that this stuff is in my house. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? This is the stuff that I work with every day. If I'm gonna work with a client, I'm gonna work with that product. I'm not gonna sell you just anything. And that means a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? That confidence, that loyalty, that truth that I try to speak in my videos is something that I cherish. And I'm never gonna change that. I don't care if I don't get another subscriber today. I'm going to remain to do the same thing. And I'm going to talk about things that I'm excited about and things that could potentially help a person reach their goal at a minimalistic level or even at an expensive level, whatever it takes for you to be able to express yourself via equipment, music equipment, keyboards, whatever. That's what I'm going to talk about.
And I appreciate that because, there are a lot of guys that they'll make a video maybe because they got paid to use a product,
Yeah.
and they won't speak by it authentically, as to where, yourself, you talk about products that you've used personally, and I would say that's kind of one of the things coming up as far as being a YouTuber that I've kind of experienced myself over the years. Now, as far as your sound as a producer, who are some of the people that maybe inspired you to become a producer?
Yeah. Oh, well, uh, I got a little gray in my beard, so I've been around for a minute. Uh, I I love Drake music. I love the West Coast sound. Originally, I was a DJ, so of course, I spent a lot of music that was from everywhere. But when I started making music, it was definitely boom bap because that's what was hot back then.
Yeah,
But it was I like Too Short stuff. I like a lot of bass lines, so I was into the West Coast. So I would have to say
yeah,
lyrically, I love the East Coast. But West Coast to me had a little bit more musical touch to their music. You know what I'm saying? They were sampling stuff that was, New York, I love their sound, but New York was just a little bit more grimy. Their chops was a little bit more, you know what I mean? Throw it around. It's like the West Coast was just a little bit more musical, and that groove, that West Coast groove, was hot to me. So when I started making beats, I just tried to picture myself how Dre would do it. Dre was my favorite, producer. Him, Timbaland, the Neptunes. I followed all of them. I listened to their music over and over and over, trying to figure out what they were using. I had an ASR 10, I had a TS12. I never had an MPC. That's the crazy thing about it. I didn't when I started producing. I had a Casio and I had a Tascam 4-track recorder and I had a Lysys drum machine. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And that's all I had. So I used to sample stuff with my Casio, and then I would play it through my Tascam. Then I would do a kick behind it or whatever. So I always told myself, first of all, I'm gonna teach myself how to play. That went okay. I wasn't great at it, but I was good enough to be able to find the notes I needed to get what I wanted to get done. But when I got my keyboard, when I got that ASR 10, uh, I just was like, yo, it's time for me to make beats, show people how I like my beats to sound. So I busted my tail trying to come up with my own melodies and do all that. Then when I got to TS12, it gave me all the sounds I needed, because I don't know if you ever work with the ASR 10, but the ASR 10 didn't come with sounds. You had to have sounds from this, and you had to get other people's sounds and samples. And the ASR 10 was a kind of a gateway to the MPC, because a lot of cats in New York was using MPC, and that West Coast cats using it too, but I just didn't know nothing about it. You know what I mean? And it just looked like another drum machine to me. And I was like, man, I got a drum machine. I don't want no drum machine. But I will tell you this: I'm gonna move forward 20 years later. My first MPC was well, I had an MPC 2000, but I didn't respect it and I sold it. That was one of the worst mistakes I ever made. I shouldn't have never sold it. I should have kept it. I normally don't even sell equipment, but I sold it because I was dealing with something in my 20s and I got rid of it. I always told myself I was going to come back to it because I heard the drums in the studio one time. I went to a studio and this cat had one, and he was playing his beats, and I was waiting to play my beats for this artist. And this fool drum sounded like he was about to tear the whole studio down, bro. I'm
Yeah.
listening and I'm like, how the hell is his drums hitting that hard? And so the engineer, I was like, yo, bro, you doing something with his drums? He was like, nah, bro, that's how the MPC come out. I was like, what? And
Yeah.
I just sold my, like, I couldn't believe it. So in my brain, I'm like, that's why Dre beats hit so, that's why his kicks hit so hard. I could never emulate his kicks.
Yeah.
So I told myself, if I was to get back into producing like I wanted to, I'm going to get me an MPC. So I bought me an MPC Live, and sure enough, bro, I fell in love with it. You know what I mean? I fell in love with the sound engine, the sound card in it, the just the whole workflow. I just, it just made me want to just kick myself in the butt, bro, over and over and over. You know what I mean? Because I would have still had that 2000 to this day. So I bought that, and then as you probably seen on my channel, I just got the retro, and the retro was just me paying respect to the 2000. You know what I'm saying? Just to be honest, you know what I'm saying? Because I already
Yep.
got a live, so, and I didn't really want the live too. Because to be honest with you, I didn't really need the extra shortcuts in the speaker. So I was like, I'm good. But then I thought about it, and it was like, bro, you remember that, that stuff you did back in the Gap? You know what I mean? Won't you go ahead and pay some homage and get you the original colorway? You know what I mean? So that's why I copped it.
Remember
And
that? Yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean? And so now I feel some type of good, bro. I feel some type of, like I redeemed myself a little bit. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Man.
I love the
So
MPC though.
the funny thing is, I had an MPC 2000 XL, probably around '07 or 08
Mm,
or so.
yeah.
And I remember at that time I also had a iMac. And to be honest, around that time was kind of when I started getting into the whole beat making thing on YouTube. I wasn't as consistent, but I would maybe post one every now and then.
Yeah.
I remember one night I did a video, woke up the next day to try it, edit it in Final Cut. Screen is blue when
Oh,
I
oh,
go to my computer. So
wow.
I had to end up selling my MPC to get me another computer at that time. So
Dang.
um,
It sounded like, well, my story wasn't like that. My story was life inflicted. I had some life things going on, so I had to get rid of it. But I didn't sell anything else in my studio. I only sold that. So that was kind of jacked up because I think I had a Phantom at the time, or it might have been a Triton. I don't remember, but because it wasn't the ASR 10, I didn't keep the ASR 10 that long. Because to be honest with you, me and the ASR 10 never really just got hit it off. You know what I mean? Like I say, I don't know if you know about the ASR 10, but I got the TS12, and the TS12 just fit me. It just had sounds, and I wanted just a bunch of sounds so I can make beats. But yeah, yeah, I'm with you, man. That was a sad sale, man. I mean, that thing is priceless, bro.
yeah. So overall, like, how long have you, as a total, like, been producing? How many years?
No, man. I started producing. I started DJing when I was 14. I started producing when I was 19, 20. I didn't start really making money until I was like 20, 21, 22. I started selling beats to everybody in the hood because we had a rap group and we kept dropping CDs and selling them out the trunk in the hood. And everybody was like, who the hell doing these beats? So I had started getting a lot of clientele like that. And I did a few things for a few artists out here in Houston. I don't really talk about it because it's been so many years. So, but yeah, I started producing when I was about 21, 20, 21 years old. Right now I'm up there. You know what I mean? So
Man.
yeah, I'm 47. So
Oh,
uh,
okay. All right,
yeah, yeah.
man.
So what about yourself? How old are you?
I'm 39. I'm gonna be 40 this year.
All right, okay,
So
you
yeah, I'll
just
be
hit the
40 in
40
November.
game then. All right, that's what's up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Welcome to the 40 club, homie.
Oh, you
Yeah,
enjoying
but
them last days?
yeah, it's all good though, man.
Yeah,
It's music is timeless, bro.
yeah,
I tell people that all the time. I love music. Music doesn't have an age. If you are dedicated to what you believe and you love what you do, I don't care what nobody say. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I want to say that I like about you. I do follow you. I think I'm subscribed to your channel. I don't know, but I do watch what you do, and I love your just your willingness to get out there and get it done. And that speaks about the grown man in you. I think sometimes when we young, we try to find an excuse for why we can't do something. And I've never been an excuse driven person. I feel like if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. It don't matter to me. I love your drive, my brother. That's why when I see you and I'm scrolling through Instagram, I'm always trying to support you. And I talked to Mario too. He told me y'all go way back. And I like people. I tell people all the time, man. This business is 90% hustle, 10% talent. You know what I mean? You could be the greatest artist in the world, but if you sit on your butt and don't do nothing and just talk about how good you can do a beat and don't never sell it or never put it out, you ain't nobody, bro. You know what I mean? So you out there grinding, man, and I see you. You know what I mean? And that's a great thing. And I talk about you in my passing to some of the people that are young. When I mentor a few cats, and they be like, "Yeah, man, this." I be like, "Man, look, man, you got to do what you got to do." You know what I mean? If you got to use a damn iPhone, you know what I'm saying? If you got to use, old busted up mic or old busted up keyboard or whatever you got to do, put it out there, because guess what? It's easier than ever to do it now. When I was coming up, I couldn't even put nothing out. You couldn't take a Tascam tape and try to go sell that. You could, but how many tapes you think you're gonna be able to print from that thing for it break? You know what I mean? So we didn't have that mass production. You know what I'm saying? CDs came out and we was trying to pay to get our CDs printed. Nobody had a lot of money. I was in school. My partner and them was on the corner. They wasn't talking about nothing. So, I've always been driven, but everybody ain't never been, everybody ain't always been driven around me. So I tell anybody, if you around somebody, be around somebody that's trying to have something. You know what I mean? Somebody that's reaching for something. Because if you got a bunch of clicker people and all they doing is sitting around smoking and ain't nobody doing nothing waiting for you to do something, get them people off your coattail because they're gonna drag you
Yeah,
down. Trust me, I know
yeah.
personally.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. Yes, especially coming from another producer with the grind like yours. I feel like even doing this for production. I've been producing probably about 15 years, I would say.
Okay.
Um, but I feel like I've had more fun in the last few years than I had probably in my 20s
Of
doing
course.
it. Really, because it was a lot of other things going on. Just I felt like I was working to try and just get a deal. I wasn't working just to have fun.
Yeah.
I wasn't really creating, I guess, from within. I was just trying to do kind of what everybody else was doing instead of trying to find my own kind of sound.
Yeah.
And did the whole group rap thing, and made a lot of great records in the past. But I felt like even a couple years after that, it wasn't till then till I really kind of found my own personal groove as a
Yeah.
producer. And I feel like a lot of the younger cats kind of lose sight of that, kind of like you were saying earlier. So I salute you for that as well, for your grind, and just motivating me as a creator, as well. Aside from that,
Yeah.
um,
Oh, appreciate it, bro.
no problem, man. Now, as far as like, what do you see right now? Maybe something that young producers should get better at. Maybe something producers should continue to do. Um, when it comes to like just production and maybe having an online presence.
Well, I mean, I heard you talking to Super Mario about social media, so I think you well aware of that grind. But I would tell any young producer that's just starting out, use what you got. You got a phone in your pocket. You got access to Snapchat. You got access to TikTok. You got access to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Use every free platform you can, because ultimately your goal is to create a fan base. You need to create a fan base, and you got to put music out. You got to let people hear what you're doing. You got to let people see into your life, see what you got going on. And that's how you build fans. That's how you build people that's interested in what you got going on. So definitely I would tell any young artist, flood the gates with it, whatever you doing. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to people to tell you you suck, because everybody ain't gonna like what you do. That's just a part of life. Nobody, you can wear an outfit and go outside and swear up and down them J's and their pants and all that you got on is the flies in the game. To one of your partners be like, yo, son, that ain't working. You know what I mean? So you just gotta try to put as much stuff as you out, put as much stuff out as you can, and do not settle for nothing. You know what I mean? Forget the naysayers. If you think that outfit high, wear it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's you, it's your style. See, sometimes people try to, it's twofold. You got two different type of people in this world. You got people that don't see the future, and they don't see the evolution of something. So when they see it, and if it don't look like a pattern of something else, they automatically think something wrong with it. You see what I'm saying? So if you're an innovator and you new and you're trying to do something different, don't be afraid to be different. You're gonna get some doors slammed in your face. You're gonna get some crazy comments on YouTube. Don't let that bother you, brother. Keep pushing forward. Or sister, keep pushing forward. You know what I mean? Also, second, you got people that are afraid to succeed. They are afraid to try because they're afraid to fail. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna imprint that fear on you. Ah, man, don't put that out, bro. Cats ain't gonna be trying to stream that. You're gonna get 5 streams. But get what? That's 5 more streams that you didn't have just sitting on your hard drive. So do not be afraid to put music out and do what you do, and get away from the people that are afraid to do what they want to do. And stop telling everybody your business. Because if they don't know about what you're doing, then how can they talk down on it?
Yeah.
Straight up. You
Yeah.
know what I
And
mean?
you'd be surprised really it how many people it is that you may not know personally that are some of your biggest supporters.
I know.
Um, and it's so wild. You can post 20 different things. They might like all of them, make a comment here and there, and somebody who knows you, might see those 20 things and continue to scroll. And it's just kind of funny how that works in today's game as far as no matter whatever type of platform. So I always say continue to post consistently, um and then be innovative, be creative as far as the
Yeah.
type of content. One thing that I like about yourself is you have kind of a similar structure. I like how you do your streams on the weekends, was on Saturdays, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Then you might do some streams earlier during the week, and then kind of like whenever there's something new, you're gonna be right there when something's new out with a new video talking about it.
Yes, sir.
um as far as having consistency in your workflow, talk about like your own personal weekly structure and kind of what goes into your mindset as far as how you kind of started to create that structure every week.
Well, I think I'm a fairly organized person. I think that in order to do YouTube on a seriously consistent basis, you have to have a plan. You got to have some type of itinerary, some type of syllabus, something to go by as far as what you want to do. And I'll sit down, and it's not easy. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not, because it is very hard to plan out a month, plan out 2 months of videos or what you want to do, because there's so many things that's going to happen. I don't have a direct connect. Well, I got a direct connect with Audio Kit now, but I didn't have that relationship before. So they're not going to email me and say, hey, Mark, in 2 weeks, we're going to drop this new, app. You know what I'm saying? Here you go. And I can start preparing to talk about it. So what you have to do is you have to keep your ear to the street. You got to know what's going on. You got to, pay attention to the culture, what people talking about, who's talking about what. And sometimes people are going to drop a video before you. That's fine, because guess what? people buy into you. That's why they subscribe to your channel. They want to hear you talk about it. They want to hear your expertise. So what I do is I just scour the net and I look for things like that. But as far as my itinerary and me setting things up, I write everything down. I try to plan everything out. If I'm gonna do an MPC tutorial, I'm gonna try to plan that out. If I'm gonna do an iOS, or if I'm gonna do a force, or whatever I'm doing, if I'm gonna talk about, which I need to start doing more in 2020. I don't do a lot of that, and I know people want that from me. I don't do a lot of comparison videos. Um, I don't know why I need to, because I do know a lot about these apps, and I know that those type of videos will blow up. But I'm not into clickbait videos, so I do videos because I'm passionate about what I want to teach. There are, like I said, there's opportunities out there that I consider missing, because I do analyze my business all the time, and I sit back and look at my videos and say, Mark, what is it that you're not doing? What is it you're not giving the community? And sure enough, that's what it is. More reviews about audio interfaces, more reviews about mics, more things that just knickknack things that I use every day that I just don't talk about. I need to do more of those videos. So I try to find goals to reach every year. Like last year, when I did my video in 2019, going into 2020, I told everybody I was going to start talking about more equipment, start doing some of those things. And I scattered some of those things in there. But this year, we definitely are looking at doing some more of those things and talking about some different DAWs and things like that. So I would tell any content creator, plan your weeks ahead. Do not wake up on a Saturday and say, okay, I wonder what I to talk about today, because that's not gonna be sustainable. You're gonna wake up one day and you just ain't gonna feel like thinking about nothing to do. You're gonna be just empty. Like, man, I ain't in the mood today. I don't know what to do. So, and you're gonna waste your whole day away. You know what I mean? And then, because if you, I mean, you know what, you do a little bit of this, and you dabble in a little bit of that. You understand that editing is one of the most time-consuming things when it comes to YouTube. You
Yep.
know what I mean? And you got good editors, you got bad editors, but at the end of the day, it takes time. It takes time to learn the software. It takes time to try to figure this out, figure that out. So yeah, plan your day, man. That way, when you wake up, you know what you're gonna do, and you're able to execute it. And that should get you where you need to go.
Yeah, man. And that is such a big, as far as organization, that's such a big deal because one, I kind of stuck to the schedule of, I may release a beat making video one day. I may
Mhm.
put out a app, or it could be something hardware, or even maybe like a expansion pack, something related to that once a week.
Yeah,
And then I may on the third day put out instrumentals for the artists. And then what I've kind of thought about like last year towards the end of the year, same thing. How can I change this channel? And really came up with the idea of doing these interviews to have something a little bit different for the channel. I know you were kind of talking about that earlier as well.
yeah.
So, that's always kind of as a creator, the next thing that you're thinking about. I like to kind of plan out maybe like 2 to 3 weeks in advance as far
Yeah.
as what I'm going to put out instead of just thinking about, like you say. And then, of course, you got to be also prepared for the occasional surprises during the week. Because
That's what I'm
sometimes,
saying. That's why I said Audio Kid ain't, you know what I mean? They not telling me that they finna do something. So if something happens that I see, and the way I got my studio set up, I can get a video going in a matter of minutes. I mean, literally minutes. Like, I could turn a couple of lights on, hit record, and I'm talking about it just that fast. And that's by design. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, you do got those spare of the moment videos. I did one when BeatMaker did their update. You know what I'm saying, a couple of months back. And that video did great. I mean, I think I did like 2,000 views in the matter of a couple of weeks. So, you're gonna have those videos, and I'm gonna put them out. I didn't do anything on digitalism 2000, but what I did was I waited to the stream and I did a beat with it, even though Beatmaker kept crashing on me. But yeah, I did that. So good thing about having a stream and being able to directly go to your audience and talk to them and do that is that if something happens that surprises me, I can do it on a stream. Matter of fact, I can do it right there. If Big Baby, which is my moderator, if you don't know him, he the number
Yeah.
one moderator in the game. What's up, Big Baby? He'll do some research and he'll be like, "Hey, yo, they just came out with what's the name, on Thursday." So I'm like, "All right, well, I ain't gonna do no spotlight on it tomorrow because I know if I get off work, my energy got to be a certain way for me to do videos. I don't just do videos,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, just on a whim because I like to have that consistency and I don't want to, sell people short, you know what I mean, on that consistency. Because one thing I know that I feel when I watch videos, if somebody does a certain type of level of videos and then I watch a video and it's below that level, then I feel like they either getting lazy or they just threw something at me. You know what I mean? And it ain't that serious. I don't think people need to be that so caught up in what's going on that they need to just drop anything. It ain't that serious to me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if Audio Kid drops a app today and I don't get a video out into 2 days, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to do it that night and I'm not fit to do it tired. So I'll wait till the stream and then we'll talk about it live. So sometimes the audience love that even better. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because it's not rehearsed. So and I pop it up on the thing and be like, oh yeah, let me do a beat to audio, digitalism 2000. And I did that and it was pretty dope last week. So that's what I love about being able to, talk to your community direct, live stream. So it's pretty dope.
What you think about the digitalism app?
I,
I love it.
I love it. Shit, excuse my friend. Make sure you
Oh,
edit
go
that
ahead. Yeah, you
out.
good.
That's what I got over here going. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I got 3 instances of digitalism over there while I was working on that beat. So I like Audio Kit, and what made Audio Kit reach out to me is my stream. I talked about Digital One, and I thought Digital One was garbage. I like Digital One sounds, but I hate the architecture. It keeps failing. You put it in Beat Maker, it doesn't work sometimes. They reached out to me and was like, "Hey, we apologize. We're working on a new code." I thought that was dope. That let me know that they listening to the community.
Yeah. They shout out to Matthew as well. Yeah, shout out to Matthew.
Yeah,
Because I've done a couple of videos on Audio Kit, and every now and then he'll comment or even share it, and it's pretty cool for that as well. And I like a lot like the 808 app. They had the 909 app,
yeah, that 808,
and
that 808 keep
Henny,
selling
the
on
Mark
me
One
though.
Roads. I
Yeah,
mean, man,
I'm gonna have to do some more work on that 808. It keep failing on me, but I'm finna upgrade. Well, I got an upgraded iPad. I'm finna bring it to the forefront, and I'm gonna see if that's gonna change some of the way some of my apps been acting. But I just love my 2015. Big Baby been trying to get me to get rid of it for you know what I'm saying, a few weeks now. But yeah, so y'all gonna start seeing a new iPad on the stream that's here in a minute. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but Matthew is cool, no question, no question. Them boys over at Audio Kit doing their thing, man, for real.
as far as like goals for production for the rest of the year, what kind of goals do you have for yourself?
I mean, we gonna just we gonna keep rolling, man. I mean, we got a lot more NPC stuff, a lot more Kai stuff. We definitely gonna do some Ableton 10. I'm gonna even bring some from my old day ones. I'm gonna bring a little bit of Reason into it. Reason got some new stuff that they're trying to do. You could use it as a VST down, so I may float it into Logic or float it into Ableton and do some of that stuff. And really, man, just continue to keep going up this little slope I'm doing for producers. Trying to introduce them into more stuff. I'm not gonna stop doing iOS stuff. I love it. I had another guy I was talking to. He was like, "Man, don't stop doing iOS stuff." I'm like, "Bro, I'm not gonna stop doing it." But what you don't understand is I'm gonna do it all. You know what I mean? And then I'm gonna show you how to integrate it all. When I was just like I say, I was waiting to chop it over with you. I've been over there working with the Force and the iPad together. You know what I mean? And then I'm gonna do a tutorial on that. Then I'm gonna do a tutorial on how to do the iPad and the MPC, so you can use it as a sound module. So my goal is to strengthen every producer that's in the dojo. You know what I mean? If you rock with me and you learn from me, you got some learning to go. We just touching the surface right now. We got a ways to go. Big Baby got a lot of stuff he want to show and teach. Big Baby he got a degree in engineering. You know what I mean? I got mine in the streets. He got his in the streets. So I'm looking to bring on more instructors. You know what I mean? But you got to fit the elbow media mold. I don't just chop it up with anybody like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I got a standard. And if cats can't meet that standard, it ain't that we ain't got we can be friends all day long. But when it comes to my business, I'm serious about it. And I like the look that I have and I cherish that look. And people try to imitate it. You know, they try to duplicate it, but you can't recreate it. It's me. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Um, so when I bring other people in, man, we're gonna have a plethora of stuff. I done seen people do that before. It ain't like I'm doing nothing new. I done seen YouTube channels where they got like a lot of different producers and a lot of people, artists, and Machine Masters is one of them. But I think mine is gonna be a lot more tight knit, more communication between me and other instructors, and we're gonna all be in sync about what we're teaching and what we're trying to show. And we're gonna do a lot of live stuff, man. We're gonna do some stuff for the Patreons, and then yeah, I'm writing a book, uh, and the book is gonna be about how to start out as a music producer. And it's gonna be a lot of books. It ain't gonna just be one, but the first one is gonna be the beginning guide to getting started to being a producer. So should be fun, man. Should be fun. 2021 is going to be a year full of a lot of sacrifices, a lot of work, and a lot of getting the feel of the new channel and some of the new things that we're doing. To be honest with you, the channel has been growing exponentially, and with the MPC stuff that I've been doing, I mean, I know some of my iOS people probably was like, okay, what the hell is he doing? You know what I mean? But I think I'm entertaining enough to kind of, if you don't like it, excuse me, you could watch it and learn something about the MPC, or you can just go watch a bunch of my other videos. You know what I'm saying? But in turn, it's just more for you to know. And if you're afraid of knowledge, then you ain't in the right place anyway.
yeah, yeah, man. And I'm looking forward to checking it out, man. I like a lot of what you're putting out, as I was saying earlier. Definitely a big fan. Um, Real quick, where can all of our viewers find all of your, social media and your YouTube?
It's all Elbow Media Studios, man. Marcus Elbow. That's with an S. So look me up. Uh, if you want to go to Instagram, it's Elbow Media _ Studios. Also Marcus Elbow on Instagram. If you want to go to Twitter, it's Marcus Elbow, one word, or Elbow Media Studios. Like I say, just type up Elbow Media Studios, and you should be able to find me on the web. I'm definitely on the web doing a few things. I ain't doing a lot of things. I'm just doing a little something, something. But I got big plans to grow this thing to something special and create a lot of dope producers, man. I got some secret stuff in the pot that I can't really talk about, but it's going to be big. It's going to be a big investment for me and my company, and it's going to include a lot of the students and a lot of the young producers that's coming around the dojo looking to learn and looking to make money. That's why I posted on YouTube. Are you tired of not making money? Are you tired of your beats being on your hard drive? It's all strategic because it's the truth. A lot of us make beats, and I'm include myself, and they just sit on hard drives and they don't do anything. You may listen to them every once in a while, and you just move on to the next beat. Well, I'm going to create something that you're gonna be able to stop doing that. We're gonna get you out of that rut of not making money off of what you're doing. So look forward to that. And like I say, if you follow me, you're gonna definitely know about it because I'm gonna keep giving you little hints here and there until I flush it completely out, and then I bring it completely out, and it's going to be a great opportunity for a lot of young producers and old producers. It don't matter how old you is, But we looking for definitely some people that want to do this, people that are eager about their future and about their production capabilities and where they want to take their production if they want to take it to the next level. So look forward to that.
Yeah,
Look that coming out. So
yeah, man. It was definitely a pleasure, having this conversation with you and doing this interview, man. And whenever you get your project in full swing, definitely come back and let's talk about it, man. And
oh yeah.
you're always welcome on this side, man. So I appreciate all that you do for the production community and for producers on YouTube, man. Keep it up.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate you having me on, my brother. Hey, continued success to you as well, man. Keep grinding, brother. You doing your thing.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. This has been Marcus Elbow of Elbow Media Studios joining me for interview on the Major Music Lounge. Catch it on my YouTube channel as well as all streaming platforms. And I'm out.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Major Music.